Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back to the channel. It's that time of the week. The weekly reading update. I hope you had a good week. I had a tough week. I'm gonna be honest. I had a rough week. But it's Saturday and I'm just moving on. February, we are in full throttle for February. And let's just get into it. Excuse me. Finished a couple things. I finished this the tail end of January. I finished Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. This I got an off NetGalley. I got an arc off NetGalley for it. It comes out February 15th. I'm gonna do a separate video chat for it, but I really loved it. This is a sci-fi. It has lots of really fun characters, really fun, interesting story, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. I really ended up liking this one. So if you want to hear my thoughts about it, I'm gonna try to record that today also and get it up next week. So I really liked it. And then I also read Pretty Girls by Karin. I listened to the audiobook for this one, which is, of course, how I finished it so quickly. I've heard Pretty Girls talked about for years now. And most people really love it, and it's kind of, got some brutal scenes into it with violence, but it's also like just a really gripping story, and everyone was right. Yeah, it's all of those things. It was so good. Essentially, we've got, there's a family. There's mom, dad, and there's 3 daughters, one of which, Julia, she's 19, I think, at the time. She's in college. She gets abducted, and they never find her. And so the story picks up, I think, like 20-ish, years later. Excuse me. And how that, sort of affects the family, by then. They're the 2 remaining sisters, of course. How that affects their lives today. And then how it they have to come together, because right there in their town, there is another girl that has gone missing. Is this related at all to Julia's disappearance? And things are discovered, twists and turns, and it's wonderful. It really is. It's I don't say a perfect thriller, but it's pretty darn close for me to be like a perfect thriller, as far as the amount of suspense. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, and having like very interesting characters. The 2 daughters, like I said, that are kind of remaining. They're women now, of course, the more present day storyline, but very realistic, and you kind of see how decisions that were made over the years have affected their life as it is today. I think, and things like that. And like I said, very suspenseful, and it is very violent, I will say, because, like I said, things are uncovered about, and the violence towards women is very much on the page. It is very descriptive about torture, violence, murder, sexual violence also. So just, I guess, just know that going into it. So like, that is something that is just a no-go for you, then this will not be the book for you. But excuse me, I've got a little frog in my throat. So just know that, like I said, going into it, it definitely added, what's the word I'm looking for? Not interest. That's not the word I'm looking for. It just added another layer of, and I will say interest, because I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of right now, for the story for me, because, you want to find out who's doing all this stuff, right? So know that the violence is there, but I just thought it was a really well done, really well told story. Lots of heart, lots of sadness, but it was really good. So Karin Slaughter, Pretty Girls, is a win for me. I really enjoyed it. And everything else is just in progress. new month starts, so I just start all my new things for my new TBR, right? So I did make a start on my short story collection for the month, or one of my short story collections, Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. I read The Bloody Chamber, which was flippin' amazing, and I'm kind of, it kind of makes you ticked off about yourself because, like, excuse me, because like Angela Carter is someone that's been on my radar for a long time, and like, why have I not read her? Because she's amazing. So The Bloody Chamber is this very gothic story. It's we've got a young girl who gets married to this much older man, and he whisks her away to his castle in France, an actual castle. And I think she's like wife number 4. Red flag. But she's just, whisked away, and she stumbles on some things that maybe she shouldn't have, and maybe she will regret these decisions. And it's so good. It's so good. Angela's writing is phenomenal. The way she puts things together is so beautifully descriptive. It's stunning. It is stunning. Like a couple of things here, just his wedding gift is like this choker, and it's rubies, and so his wedding gift clasped around my throat a choker of rubies 2 inches wide, like an extraordinarily precious slit throat. Ooh, what? So good. Yeah, it's just filled with things like this. It's a bit erotic at times, and slightly scandalous, and it's so good. It's really, really wonderful. So I am excited, of course, to finish out this collection and finally get to more of Angela Carter's work, because why have I been sleeping on that? And I've dug into my poetry collection for this month, Ghost in a Black Girl's Throat by Calissa, and I'm flipping loving these so far. I've only read a few. So February's just started, but they've been phenomenal so far. I mean, no, yeah, so good. So I can't wait to read more, and then maybe talk about it a little bit more once I'm really into it. I also made a start on Geek Love by Katherine Dunn. I read the first chapter, so I hadn't got much far. I just read the first chapter last night. I haven't done much like reading with my eyeballs this week because of aforementioned crappy week. But I wanted to at least get it started. Because this is a buddy read that I'm doing with Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books and Kelsey from Slime and Slashers. So I wanted to at least get it going. We're starting it up, right? And again, this is one of my rereads for the month. One of my rereads that I had planned for the year. And so yeah, I've already reminded how much I loathe the parents in the story. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm only a chapter in, so not much else to say. I did also make a start on, let me get my sticky notes out of the way. I've dug into Rose Manor by Stephen King. This one I'm pulling up on audiobook. I'm a little over half-ish way now because audiobook, and really digging this one so far. Very intrigued by the story. Excuse me. This follows a woman named Rose who is in an abusive marriage. She's married to this shithead Norman, and for like 14-15 years or so, and one day she just decides to leave. She just can't do it anymore. Norman just is not gonna let that happen though, and so he is looking for her. And so I'm about this part here where things have taken a turn, and I'm very intrigued now, and something involving a painting. If you know, you know. And the cover now makes more sense to me. so yeah, I'm curious kind of how all this is going to play out, and yeah, enjoying it so far. I am still making my way through House of Chains. That's book 4 for the Malazan series. I forgot to bring it up. I read, a couple of chapters, and we've got new characters from previous books now that are popping up, and so I'm really excited. So I'm slowly making my way through them, and it's fun. So I think that's it as far as what I've gotten myself into this last week. So some decent progress on some things. Audiobooks are once again to the rescue. I pick up a couple things. Got my Nightworms package. We've got 2 books. The Sundial by Shirley Jackson, which I'm very excited to read. This is one of hers I've not read. And so this one is, let's see, the Halloran clan gathers at the family home for a funeral. No one is surprised to see peculiar Aunt Fanny wander off into the garden, but she returns reporting an astonishing vision. Her late father has appeared to her and given the exact date of an imminent apocalypse, from which only the Hallorans and their hangers-on will be spared. Soon the family is engulfed in growing madness, fear, and violence. Excuse me. Lost in machinations and belief in a coming paradise, they prepare for the terrible storm they are sure will bring this new world, beautiful and for them alone. I mean, this sounds really fantastic. I'm jazzed about that. Excuse me. And then we got this collection, When Things Get Dark, which is edited by Ellen Datlow and is stories that are inspired by Shirley Jackson. I'm thrilled for this. And I'm very excited. It's got, Laird Barron, Gemma Files, Stephen Graham Jones, Cassandra Call, John Langan, Kelly Link, Shauna McGuire, Carmen Maria Machado, Mallerman. I mean, yeah, Paul Tremblay, all kinds of folks in here. That's going to be lots of fun. And then I also picked up The Creek by Rain King. He put on Twitter that he was on sale for $4. So I bought it for $4. And I've heard really good things about this story, so there's also another story here called Husk. So I'm very excited about that. And I also picked up Mark Ellen Gunnell's new collection of stories, Tales from the Typewriter. I read his story Before He Wakes last year and absolutely loved it. So I just want to read more Mark Ellen Gunnell's. So I picked this up and I can't wait to read it. I will add it to my short story collection pile over here and get to that at some point. Sorry, you guys. And I want to give away from Tyler Jones. He was giving this away, a copy of Almost Ruth, and I was the winner. How exciting. And so he sent it my way, and he did sign it and everything. And I'm dying to read this. I'm dying to read it. I loved Criterion by him. I read that last year, and so I need more. He's got like so many books, but I've got this one now, and the cover is stunning. I think the cover is for Gemma. Gemma Amore. She's an author too, but she makes really beautiful covers. I just can't wait. I cannot wait to read it. And then Asheville is a town with a secret history. Ancient structures lie hidden in the woods, and strange rituals are performed to keep the dead where they belong. For gravedigger Abel Cunningham, it is also a town filled with regrets. And when Abel is tasked with an unusual burial, he discovers there are more than just corpses in the cemetery. Yes, doesn't that sound amazing? So, I'm so excited. Yeah, that's a few things, just a few things I picked up. I did want to mention that I finished watching Station 11. It's on HBO Max. And it was fantastic. Excuse me, I got this frog in my throat. I'm so sorry. It was wonderful. Now, of course, the book is one of my favorite books. I love Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and I thought they really captured that book in this adaptation. I mean, some things were changed, of course, but the overall sort of tone and themes of the story are there. The characters were really wonderful. I mean, some and stellar acting in here. Beautifully filmed. The scenes were, the exterior scenes, and they were lush and very, really well done. and the costumes that they did for the traveling symphony were just amazing. Oh gosh, you guys, you've gotta watch it. I would say read the book first, of course, but so read the book if you haven't, and then definitely check out this adaptation. But if you've read it already and hadn't watched it yet, highly recommend it. It is phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so of course, can we talk about Book of Boba Fett? Because my husband and I are watching that, and it's been so good. I don't know. Although a lot of people are like, I don't know, shit kicking it like they do everything these days, because people just have to complain about everything these days. But I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. I hope you had a good week. Let me know what reading you got into. If you read any of these books, of course, let me know. I'd love to chat with you about them. No spoilers, of course. And let me know what you've got into. And thanks as always for watching. I'm always so appreciative of your time. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.